Welcome back to WICR's special Election Day coverage here. I'm Matt Ricker, and thank you for joining me on this Tuesday morning on Election Day. This is going to be a historic election, so please go out and vote. Your vote does matter. I can't stress that enough. Even if you do a write-in, you don't even have to do the actual candidates who are running. I mean, even if you do a third party candidate, it still matters. At least you're voicing your opinion. So I want to talk about some voter demographics that I'm about to discuss. I mean, it's not common that these are discussed. Now, this information is coming from the Pew Research Center, and back in, or not back, but on November 4th, they surveyed some women, and it turns out majorities of women and men say that Trump has no respect for women. And it goes on to say there are some substantial differences in the level of respect voters think Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have for different groups in American society. So, it is questionable. I mean, I kind of believe he does have respect, even though that a derogatory video was leaked a few weeks ago. But he apologized. That was over a decade ago. He has daughters. I think it was just something that was, you know, uh, brought out to damage him in the election, just like the emails were released about John Podesta and Hillary Clinton's campaign. So, um, but many Americans are also unaware of the state's voter ID laws. Now, I have to agree, I was not familiar up until yesterday whether you need an ID to vote in New York, and you don't. This morning when I went, I just had to give my name, sign, and then fill out the card and feed it through the machine, and that was the vote. So, whether that's a good or a bad thing, I don't think that's a good thing because, what if someone went and put my name in and voted for me? I mean, that wouldn't be fair at all. So something's got to change. But then the debate comes like if someone doesn't drive, if someone doesn't have an ID of some sort, if someone doesn't have a passport. I mean, I would hope that people have some sort of identification, but it's not guaranteed that they do. So that's concerning that they have this sort of thing. So, yeah, I'll pull up the map on which states have voter ID laws and which don't in a couple of minutes. But I also want to mention that some key facts about the Latino vote this year. And according to the Pew Research Center's projections, a record of 27.3 million Latinos are eligible to cast ballots in 2016, representing 12% of all eligible voters. So that's pretty high, very high. They're no longer a minority to a certain extent. I mean, they have a lot of voters registered, which is good to hear. I mean, because everyone deserves to, cast their vote as long as they're a living citizen in this country. As Trump has said that the system is rigged. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I mean, it's just concerning, though, when you hear about dead people who are voting. That's really unfair to either candidate, and that's no matter which candidate you are supporting. You really have to take that into account. Now, another fact is that Democrats maintain an edge as a party more concerned for Latinos, but views are similar to 2012. Now, 75% of Latinos have discussed Trump's comments about Hispanics in the past year. As you know, he called them thugs, illegals. He was referring to the wall that he's going to build supposedly for Mexico to keep illegal immigrants out. So that's not something that was taken lightly. Now, a social trend taken on October 6th is that voters have little confidence Clinton or Trump would help workers get skills they need to compete. Now, American voters express relatively little confidence in either major party's presidential candidate when it comes to their ability to help American workers prepare to compete in today's economy. So that's kind of concerning. I mean, this is definitely, and I've said this time and time again, an election for the books. So I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see what voters think, and in the election of 2020, that may be even more explosive, as you can imagine, for this one. Now, this is a major problem. They got data on a political profile of disabled Americans. Overall, Americans with disabilities are engaged with the upcoming election, but they are less likely to turn out to vote as they face a number of obstacles to voting. If you live alone and you're in a wheelchair and you can't drive, you're obviously not going to be able to vote unless you have a friend or a family member take you, but that's not always possible, because not everyone has off election day. So I think that more should be done to get disabled people out there, as well as elderly people. Elderly people cannot all drive, or they don't have access to a car, and the polling places are not far. When I was a senior in high school, I took AP Government and Politics, and we discussed that people that live like in rural areas and say their voting places, an hour away, chances are they're not going to vote because they don't want to spend the money on gas, or they just don't have time. They have a job to attend to and other responsibilities. So that's unfortunate too. Not everyone has access to vote, and in other countries, we take this for granted, but other countries don't have the access to vote, and it should not be taken lightly. Everyone has a civic duty, and as long as you're registered, you could vote. So, let's see. So going back now to the Electoral College, as I said, that's a major thing in this election. And it's going to be interesting to see how all this turns out. The Electoral College is very important, as well as the popular vote. Now, I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but it's important to get out to vote. Otherwise, your voice will not be heard. I'm actually going to wait on the Electoral College. I've been giving updates every now and then, but I'll be back in a couple minutes to discuss more developments on the election. So thank you, as always, for joining me, and I'll be back soon.